Bill Powell, an unlikely savior. He wasn't your typical hero. Bill Powell, a name whispered in the grimy alleys, a name uttered with a mix of fear and respect. His face, a roadmap of hard living, held eyes that seemed to have witnessed every shade of darkness. Yet they flickered with a sardonic humor, an acceptance of the absurdity that was his life. He was a man living on the edge, dancing with chaos, always one step ahead of the abyss. Bill wasn't driven by grand ideals or a thirst for glory. He wasn't motivated by saving damsels in distress or rescuing kittens from trees. No, Bill was fueled by a deep-seated sense of wrong and right, a moral compass that, despite being battered and bruised, still pointed true north. He was a man of few words, his actions speaking volumes in a world where words were cheap and trust was a luxury few could afford. His weapons of choice? A worn, leather-bound book and some cocaine. This was not just any book, mind you, but a grimoire pulsating with ancient power. Its pages, brittle with age, whispered forgotten spells and forbidden knowledge, the cocaine perfectly pure. With a flick of his wrist, a muttered incantation, Bill could unleash hellfire and damnation upon those who dared to cross him, or summon a decent cup of coffee, depending on the urgency of the situation. Perched on Bill's shoulder, a furry black shadow with emerald eyes, was Lil Fucker. The name, a testament to Bill's twisted sense of humor, never failed to elicit a chuckle from him, even in the direst of situations. Lil Fucker wasn't your average feline companion. He was a force of nature disguised in sleek black fur. His claws, honed to razor sharpness, could tear through flesh and bone with terrifying ease. His agility defied gravity, a whirlwind of claws and teeth, leaving his enemies bewildered and bloodied. But Lil Fucker was more than just muscle and instinct. He possessed an almost unnerving intelligence, a cunning that belied his feline nature. He was Bill's confidant, his partner in crime, his furry little shadow in a world shrouded in shadows. They communicated through a series of grunts, purrs, and knowing glances, a language only they understood. In this world, teetering on the precipice, Bill and Lil Fucker weren't alone. They had allies, as unconventional as they were. Among them were the Cyber Cats, a ragtag group of felines augmented with advanced technology. Rescued from the brink of death and rebuilt with a touch of brilliance and a dash of madness, they were a sight to behold. Led by the enigmatic One-Eyed Jack, a scarred tomcat with a glowing cybernetic eye, they were a formidable force. Each cat possessed unique abilities, tailored to their individual strengths. There was Sparkles, a sleek Siamese, whose cybernetic implants allowed her to manipulate electricity, unleashing bolts of pure energy. Then there was Brutus, a hulking Maine Coon, his body reinforced with titanium plating, making him a walking tank. And let's not forget about Princess, a petite calico with a knack for hacking, her tiny paws dancing across keyboards, infiltrating enemy systems with ease. The Cybercats were a testament to the resilience of nature, the boundless possibilities of technology, and the enduring power of a good head scratch. As if cybernetic cats weren't enough, Bill's alliance extended to the most unlikely of creatures. Sea monkeys. These weren't your ordinary pet store variety, content to swim in circles. These sea monkeys were highly intelligent, possessing a strategic mind that belied their diminutive size. They inhabited a network of interconnected tanks, linked through a complex system of tubes and valves, allowing them to communicate and coordinate their efforts with astonishing efficiency. Their leader, a particularly large and intelligent specimen named Bubbles, was a master strategist, capable of devising intricate battle plans that would make even the most seasoned general envious. Their role in the upcoming conflict was crucial. While the Cybercats provided the brawn, the sea monkeys were the brains of the operation. They gathered intelligence, analyzed enemy movements, and relayed vital information to Bill and his allies. Their knowledge of underwater currents and their ability to navigate complex pipe systems made them invaluable assets in infiltration and sabotage. Don't let their size fool you. On the other side of the spectrum, shrouded in darkness and the stench of cotton candy, reigned Nunya the Hutt, a disciple of the cult of Tar. A grotesque parody of a clown, she was the embodiment of all things twisted and evil. Her face, perpetually frozen in a rictus grin, was a canvas of garish makeup, hiding the malevolence that lurked beneath. Her bulbous body, overflowing from a tattered, oversized jumpsuit, coated in cheese dust, it quivered with an unsettling mirth. She commanded an army of abusive demon predator clowns, each one a grotesque mockery of childhood joy, most with abuse charges on their records. They were hypocrites. Nunya the Hutt was a creature of pure, unadulterated chaos, reveling in the suffering of others. Her laughter, a high-pitched cackle that sent shivers down your spine, echoed through the nightmares of her victims. Like the devil, she was a master manipulator, playing on the fears and insecurities of others, twisting their perceptions until they were lost in a labyrinth of their own making. They were the antithesis of everything Bill stood for. Nunya the Hutt's army was a menagerie of nightmares, each one more disturbing than the last. There was Bobo, the psychotic mime, whose silence was more terrifying than any scream. Her movements, jerky and exaggerated, were a macabre dance of death, her white-gloved hands capable of snapping bones with a single swift motion. Then there was Clown Farce, not to be confused with a man. This vile demon spews evil from the depths of his black heart. This Clown Farce was a vision of horror, his once vibrant rainbow wig now matted and stained with an unknown viscous substance, probably from sinful man lusting with the other clowns. His eyes, wide and unblinking, stared into the abyss, reflecting the madness that consumed him. And let's not forget about Telly, spelt with an L, the demented juggler whose juggling pins were actually sharpened hatchets, flying through the air with deadly accuracy. Although he feels himself strong in his mind, it could actually be his biggest liability. His laughter, a high-pitched giggle that grated on the nerves, was the soundtrack to your demise. These were not the clowns of your childhood dreams. They were an evil hive of abusers, delusional clout chasers, hiding together, backing up each other's lies and secrets with vile intent. Nunya the Hutt's domain was a twisted reflection of a carnival, a place where childhood fears came to life. The air was thick with the scent of popcorn and fear, the merry-go-round's calliope music replaced by a discordant symphony of screams. The Ferris wheel, its lights flickering ominously, cast long, distorted shadows that danced to the rhythm of madness. The funhouse mirrors reflected distorted images, warping your perception until you couldn't tell reality from nightmare. And everywhere you looked, there they were, clowns. Their painted smiles, once a source of amusement, now sent chills down your spine. Their eyes, cold and calculating, watched your every move, their laughter echoing in your ears long after you wished it would stop. The battle, when it came, was a symphony of chaos. Cybernetic cats, their eyes glowing with an eerie light, clashed with grotesque clowns in a whirlwind of claws and teeth. The air crackled with energy as Sparkles unleashed her electric fury, while Brutus ploughed through the enemy ranks, his titanium-reinforced body unstoppable. Lil Fucker, a black blur of claws and teeth, darted through the fray, leaving a trail of carnage in his wake. Bill, grimoire in hand, unleashed a torrent of spells, each one carefully aimed, each one devastating in its effect. Fireballs erupted, lightning flashed, and the ground trembled beneath the onslaught. Meanwhile, from their network of tanks, the Sea Monkeys launched their assault. Guided by Bubbles' strategic brilliance, they infiltrated the enemy's infrastructure, sabotaging their equipment, disrupting their communications, and generally wreaking havoc. They were the silent assassins, the unseen force that tipped the scales in favor of the unlikely heroes. The battle raged, a chaotic ballet of fury and despair. But through it all, Bill Powell stood firm, a beacon of defiance in the face of insanity, a strange white substance under his nose. His allies fought with the courage born of desperation, knowing that defeat was not an option. And slowly, the tide began to turn. The Sea Monkeys, those masters of strategy, outmaneuvered their larger, more physically imposing foes. The Cybercats, fueled by a potent mix of feline fury and technological prowess, tore through the enemy ranks. Lil Fucker, a whirlwind of claws and teeth, proved once again that size wasn't everything. And Bill, with a flick of his wrist, a muttered incantation, unleashed a final devastating spell that ripped through the heart of Nunya the Hutt's forces. The laughter died, replaced by the groans of the fallen. The aftermath was a scene of devastation. The carnival, once a place of twisted amusement, now lay in ruins, a testament to the battle that had raged within its confines. The scent of popcorn and fear lingered in the air, a haunting reminder of the horrors that had unfolded. But amidst the wreckage, there was a glimmer of hope. Bill Powell, his face etched with exhaustion and the satisfaction of a hard-won victory, stood tall. Lil Fucker, perched on his shoulder, surveyed the scene with a disdainful air, as if disappointed that the fun was over. The Cybercats, their metallic bodies dented but their spirits unbroken, gathered around their leader, One-Eyed Jack. As the dust settled and the echoes of laughter faded into the night, a profound truth resonated. The battle against the darkness was never truly over. The victory against Nunya the Hutt and her demonic clowns was but a single chapter in an ongoing saga. Bill Powell, the unlikely savior, knew this better than anyone. He understood that the forces of chaos and madness were always lurking, waiting for an opportunity to resurface and plunge the world back into darkness. And so, he remained vigilant, his grimoire at the ready, his trusty companion Lil Fucker by his side. The Cybercats, their cybernetic enhancements humming with a quiet energy, continued their patrols, their senses attuned to the slightest hint of trouble. Bubbles, the sea monkey strategist, retreated back to his network of tanks, his keen mind constantly analyzing, planning, preparing for the next inevitable encounter. The world, forever teetering on the precipice, needed them. They were the guardians, the protectors, the unsung heroes who stood between the forces of darkness and the fragile flicker of hope that illuminated the night. Stay naked.